Welcome to Unleashed. Thank you so much for listening. Let's go ahead and get started right now with the reaction to the Chiefs against the Ravens. First and foremost, I do want to say, Lamar Jackson, you play like trash. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that at all. It was a terrible performance from the two-time or future two-time MVP. Stats in my opinion weren't great. 20 of 37 for 272 yards, one touchdown and one interception. I don't think Lamar and I think outside of the defense came ready to play. I don't think anybody really on offense came to play. They I felt like they thought like they were just going to win this game very easily, and I don't think they studied it as hard as they can. I also never want to hear about Lamar Jackson being a top two, top three NFL quarterback. Not until he's able to prove something in the playoffs, in my opinion. He should not be able to get this type of praise if he's unable to convert and then at least lead the Ravens into a Super Bowl. So I never want to hear that ever again. It totally just does not make sense. But like I said, overall, I do think that the defense for the Ravens they come to play. Obviously, limiting Mahomes to 17 points. I think it's definitely something that they can feel proud of. But obviously, for Lamar Jackson and the offense only being able to score 10 points, definitely, and especially in the conference championship game, is definitely embarrassing. I would be ashamed if I was a Ravens fan at this moment. So, but kudos to the Chiefs. They've been doubted throughout the season, throughout the playoffs, but they managed to come through and reach the Super Bowl once again. Obviously, Mahomes has been the fire starter on that and keep believing everybody and not throwing anybody on the bus. But it was a great game. Obviously, just mostly a defensive type of game just because it was such low scoring 17-10. Felt like we were back in the 1970s and 1980s. But it was a great game by the Chiefs on defense, obviously limiting Lamar Jackson to just 10 points in that offense. They did give up some yards, obviously, but it doesn't matter as long as you're able to limit the scoring, convert the turnovers that they did. That's all that matters. But it was a great game. I look forward to seeing what the Chiefs will do into the Super Bowl, and I'll be watching it first and foremost. But one last thing, just on the Ravens, they need to grow up and be more matured. I would, if I was John Harbaugh, I would be crushing everybody at this moment or yesterday for all these dumb penalties that they got. I think, especially from Flowers, I think that was what they got the taunting penalty. Is like that's just a lack of maturity, and it was just overly disappointed. But let's go ahead and just get on to the next game, which it was Lions at um, Niners. So this game obviously was not looking good in the first half. They were down 17 points. The 49ers were. And me as a 49ers fan, I definitely thought they were about to lose, especially coming back into the second half in the first drive with them only making a field goal. I gave up all hopes at that point because I was like, that's not how the way you want to come back and start. I definitely felt like it was the game was going away from them, but they managed to come through whatever Shanahan and then everybody else, whoever was in charge of it, they always deserve that credit. Whatever was said during the halftime, definitely made the team refocus and get them back into the type of team that they were. Obviously, scoring 34 points and scoring out of that 34, they scored, what would that be? 27 points. So 27 points in the second half, which is great, especially after they only scored 7 points in the first half. And then obviously everybody just stepped up after the second after the first half. I mean, so obviously just limiting to the Lions to just one touchdown after that. But obviously that touchdown kind of came into garbage time just because the game was ready. They were already ahead. So as long as the 49ers defense was not choking, then it would have been good. Brock Purdy, I must say, I had my doubts, and I still have a little bit. A little bit. There were some mistakes on it, but I think he has overall answered a lot of my questions already. and I'm becoming more of a believer every game they has played, especially as we came into the playoffs. Like, I know he's not always going to have a great game. It's always about responding. I've seen obviously the greatest of the great have bad games, but I think Brock Purdy is starting to get himself into the league as definitely, like, right now, I would say in the top 5 quarterbacks, maybe a little bit higher than that. I could probably say maybe top 3. But it'll be capitalized by this win. I believe if he does win the Super Bowl and becomes MVP, he will be, in my opinion, probably the second best quarterback right now. But only time will tell on that. There's still a lot of time. There's still a lot of time to make adjustments. But I'm hoping that he will be able to do more, just a little bit more. And I know I've spoken with somebody yesterday that was telling me that Brock Purdy can't tackle and don't put any blame on him, but he could have been scoring points. I'm not saying he has to go out there and tackle, but he's capable of scoring and managing that offense. So, in regards to the Lions and then the way that they made their selections for the fourth downs, I don't have a problem with it, mostly because that's what they always done, especially over the last what would it be 3 years. So I don't have an issue with that because that's what has got them there. So it's hard for you to tell somebody not to do something when they have been so great at it. So I personally, especially if I was a Lions fan, I would not have any issues. Yes, of course you would like to score. I think too, with those type of plays calling it on fourth down, you just have to be aware of the current situations. Like, I know what everybody or what the analytics say is just to go for it, but then again, they don't tell you about what's really going on during the game. So there's no way for you to add that factor in there. So, like I said, no problem with it. Obviously, there's a chance that I probably would have just taken the points, but no issues for me from my end. So, but congratulations again to San Francisco 49ers and then obviously the Kansas City Chiefs on winning those conference championship games and reaching the Super Bowl. Is definitely be a great Super Bowl. And in my opinion, I think could be probably one of the most watched. I think mainly because of Purdy, and everybody wants to see if he's able to capitalize on it. So obviously, I won't be posting a video later this week for any predictions, but obviously if something comes up, I'll make sure to do a video on it. But as of right now, I'll be posting my prediction video next week. I'll be trying to do a selection on what I think the score will be, who will score the first touchdown, and then the final score. How many touchdowns will Mahomes have? How many touchdowns will Brock Purdy have? Etc. and etc. So definitely I'll be posting that here and I'll be making my predictions there. Thank you all so much for listening. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you all on my next video. Thank you.